This morning, a ferry sent by the U.S. to bring American citizens out of Libya is finally on its way to Malta, leaving just after 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. The State Department says 300 people are on that ferry, more than half of them Americans. For 2 days, rough weather in the Mediterranean Sea with waves up to 16 feet high made it impossible to leave. Now, this morning, I spoke with Kyle White, an American who's been working in Tripoli for the past 9 months, and I asked him if he ever felt threatened by the violence there.
I've never felt threatened before this last week in Tripoli.
At what point did that change? I mean, what did you see or hear that led you to believe that you need to get out and get out fast?
Last Thursday, there was what's called the Day of Rage, and that's where all of the protesters in Benghazi took to the streets to demonstrate their anger at the regime. And what had happened is I actually have friends in Benghazi, and I had been in constant communication with them. The following day, on Friday, there were calls to protest again, but this time with carrying the bodies that the government had killed the previous day. And what had happened is this progressed, and I made a commitment with my friend to call every 4 hours. And every 4 hours that I called, it just seemed to be progressing, and things got worse and worse. Later that night, I was hearing radio broadcasts that the city of Benghazi was taken over by the opposition group. And they were releasing statements in Arabic stating that they had tanks and that they were calling for all regions to march to Tripoli and to take over the regime in Tripoli.
So you speak Arabic, so you were able to understand all this. You finally make the decision to leave work and go to the airport. What was the situation like there when you got to the airport?
The situation there was actually quite calm. There weren't that too many people. That morning leading up to it was pretty hectic. I woke up and I already had my bags packed based off the things I was hearing in Arabic. I went to the ATM to pull out some money and found out that the whole banking system in all of Libya was closed and no one could withdraw any money. And at that point, I started to see mercenaries patrolling my neighborhood, and I made the decision to get out. I actually left my company, and I did not tell anyone I was going to the airport. And then I got to the airport and made my decision to leave the country.
All right, so you got to Rome, and then you got to San Diego here in the States. You had to leave a number of friends and coworkers behind. Have you had a chance to talk to them, and what's their current situation?
I've been able to get through them on the phone, and there's a lot of people that are very scared. There are some people who have made it back, thankfully, but we still have people there on the ferry, and they're really scared for their life.
What are they saying, though, specifically as to what the conditions are there at this present hour?
I have not been in contact with them since they've been on the ferry, but I do have local friends who live there, and they said things are very bad. My friends say they're very scared for the lives of them and their family. The men are standing by the doors of the houses protecting anyone who may enter. My friends tell me that the government is sending mercenaries door to door killing families, and that there are thousands and thousands of people who have died in Tripoli alone.
If things were to calm down in the region, would you ever entertain going back, or have you seen and heard enough?
I would entertain going back. The past 9 months has been awesome. The Libyan people have taken me in, and they've been my family these past 9 months. So there's without a doubt that I would go back to Tripoli and Libya in general.
Kyle White, thank you for taking the time speaking with us this morning.
Thank you.